I'm John.
I'm also John.
And we're going to talk about stuff.
So let's talk about spooky stories.
Ooh, I like this one. You want to go first?
Ooh. Spooky stories. Well, so I've mentioned before on the origin story. Go back and watch if you haven't.
It's like a back issue.
This is actually a super easy subject for me. So a lot of times it's one of those things where I have something immediately to say, and then you go on. I'm like, oh, I remember that now. And then now I'm like, oh, it's all coming back to me now because my brain's dumb. But this is something that you can kind of never forget. So we lived in a farmhouse, 10.7 acres out in Leighton, Missouri. So the very first time ever, I remember staying home alone. My brother, I think, stayed after school.
First mistake, never be alone on a farmhouse.
Well, here's the thing also, too. I thought it would be cool because I was like 8 or 9, and I'm like, this is the first time I've ever been home alone. I'm going to do this now. And Dragon Ball Z was on. So I thought, I'm going to stay home. I'm going to watch Gundam Wing and the Ronin Warriors and Dragon Ball Z, and these anime characters are going to protect the shit out of me, right? So, not the case. So I remember, for instance, like the doorway's right here. To the kitchen. You walk in, front door would be here. We're in the living room. TV. You guys, you're the TV. I'm watching. I'm terrified, scared for no reason. Nothing has happened. There's no reason. I just know I'm home alone. So I'm just kind of sitting there watching the TV.
Now, can I ask real quick? Is there an inkling of something bad could happen?
Yeah, I guess. But at the same time, character flaw, I'll just point it out. I was scared of everything as a kid anyway.
Okay, so there's like... But it's not like you're like, oh, maybe Toonami will help me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it wasn't like that necessarily.
It wasn't. Okay, so
I was just uncomfortable because I was home alone for the first time.
But it wasn't like you were scared right away that everything would scare you at that point.
Yeah, exactly,
gotcha.
Right.
Go ahead.
So I just kind of look over into the kitchen just to look over my shoulder for whatever reason, and I swear to you, I can't think of any way to like disprove this in my head 100 times over. It's been 19 years now. There was a shadow. Like, it was like a person.
What?
It was like a full person.
What?
But they were a shadow. And I swear to God, they ran in a circle in the fucking kitchen, and then ran out of the room.
I've got goosebumps.
I'm telling you, dude.
Ghost children.
Well, I feel like it was a full-sized adult. And in an old house that was restored for us to live there with an old barn out back. Like, it was a 10.7 acres of land that had been there for ever, you know? And so, yeah, of course, I get up and, like, go and, like, I went through the doorway and, like, looked to my right, which leads to a hallway. So I go around the fridge, I look, and then
How did you not hide under the couch?
Well, I peeked. Looked this way, looked that way, and I'm like, and this way is my room. And I'm like, nothing there, looking there. And I felt like it ran toward my room as I got up to, like, look, but, like, of course, I don't know if that's me, like, thinking back and changing it to make it more scary or what. I just don't know, but I know that I saw that figure. I run back to where I was on the couch, and I don't even have my feet on the ground at that point. I'm just like, Goku, 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 you know, like, dude.
That, okay, keep going.
But, kind of to tie in a subject, we wanted to talk about childhood toys. Well, this turned into this. One of my childhood toys was a talking Shrek doll.
Awful. Oh, no. Does this play it? Sorry, go.
It talks. It's supposed to talk.
Yeah.
It doesn't laugh. I swear to God, it laughed. And that's not one of the push-button phrases. It was just phrases from the movie.
No.
I swear to God.
Dude, I have goosebumps.
No, that's not even, like, part
I'm
of
telling you, though, that was the most scared I've ever been. I ran out of my entire house. I was alone in the bedroom playing with my toys. And my room was always a mess, just like
Was
Clark's.
it at the same time? Or
the same house. So another time. Another time. Same house.
To me, that even makes it worse.
So I'm telling you, dude, I ran out of my house, and like I ran out the front door, and then they're like, "What are you doing?" You know, and I was just on the front porch, like, dude, my Shrek just laughed at me. It laughed at me. It does not laugh, and it laughed at me, and I was so scared. And
were you playing with it to make sound?
No.
But how did it activate on sound? Just what was the thing?
There was a button on the back of it. But I wasn't playing with it. I was playing. If I remember correctly, dude, and it's been so long, I want to say I was playing with my red Power Ranger, but I could be wrong. I just know I wasn't playing with Shrek. But I remember it as I was playing with my... And I always say I remember it as, because I know as humans we can always remember things wrong or change things as we... But I don't feel like I've told this story any different ever, and I've told quite a few people about it. But it's just like, dude, like I remember this, and it freaked me out. It was horribly freaky.
So crazy.
My sister has a story about being home alone, and she was doing the dishes in the kitchen, and like we had like a shelf with like some fake ass china stuff like display, and one of the plates fell off and just fell. It was. I want to say it was set up in a way that it could have fallen. Maybe I don't know.
Still creepy.
It wasn't like sitting down flat like a plate, but it adds to it. Yeah, and because the other things had happened, you know.
I think.
How'd you not burn that house down? Sorry to interrupt you, T.
It's actually still up, and people live in it now. And
that is awesome.
I don't know.
We're gonna call them.
I wonder if that'd be a thing.
We should call them and be like, did anything weird happen in the house?
And they're gonna be like, no, what are you talking about?
And then we'll be like the shortest phone call in the world. Be like, nothing.
Like the demons live inside this now.
This is John from John and John Talk Stuff.
Hey, we just want to know, can we stay the night in your house?
Oh, would you ever do a haunted ghost tour?
Oh my gosh.
T, would you do it?
So this is what she's really wanting me to talk about.
He knows what I want him to talk about.
What? There's another story?
Yes.
Well,
him and his friends.
We went and looked at like there's my buddies have a house in I guess my buddy's grandma owned a house in Knob-Noster, Missouri, and we went into like the basement and did the voice recordings and walked around the house and read like Bible scriptures and stuff.
Here?
Yeah, we would do stuff like that. Yeah.
Dude, and that's just pissing off a deep. Why? You're reading out the Bible?
What do you mean?
That's how fucking horror movies start.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
What was? Go ahead.
They already let you slide off a talking Shrek. They said they were letting you know, motherfucker, don't be coming in here talking that Jesus.
Hey,
shit.
we out here. But yeah,
like Denzel Washington in Training Day. They built prisons.
You ain't got nothing on me. King Kong ain't got shit on me.
So you go in there, pissing off. You're trolling ghosts now.
Well, so what I remember from that is, so there was an instance where we read. It was like a contemporary Bible, so the verbiage is different, right? So they were like. If you give up on God, then I'll give up on you. Yeah, very cool Bible. You can wear your Toms and read this Bible.
Okay, gotcha.
Sip on your Frappuccino, kiss your boyfriend.
A super not judgmental
Old
Testament.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Bible.
They actually they had the Old Testament in there, but just everything's scribbled out.
Well, yeah. So they're like, God did, he killed a bunch of people. We're not going to go over that. Go into this next thing.
Right.
So, okay.
But the scripture in contemporary form.
Gotcha. So you're there. Going,
if you give
the
up
power
on God,
of Christ compels you.
Right, and they said, "Cool, man, I feel compelled."
So, but I'm saying down in this
So they're recording
basement.
all of it.
Okay, go get us back on track. We need to know about a contemporary.
So we're in this home.
There were pictures in it too.
And the verbiage was, "If you give up on God, then God will give up on you," kind of thing.
Okay, is that pertinent to the story?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you won't let me get past that. I said contemporary, and it confused you. And then
big word.
So when we got back and we listened to it later. When I say that on the audio, there's like it captures like how they do on Ghost Hunters or whatever. And it says, "Then I give up," is what we heard.
What?
I swear.
So there's multiple people that know this.
So yeah, and there's things that's weird too, is because it's not like one of those things where I feel like they were tricking me, because like we were in the car to go there.
Oh yeah.
We recorded all together. Yeah. We go back, we put it all uploaded on the computer right in front of me. You know what I mean? And we all I'm slowing things down or listening or going back, and it was just really weird little things that have to be true. But at the same time, I struggle as a 27-year-old adult to believe in it,
Well, and also too, if you believe in it, it's real. You know what I mean? Like you're making
I know
it real.
what you mean. Right,
No,
yeah,
and I'm not saying like, oh,
I
it wasn't,
understand.
but you know what I mean? Like you give it validity, but even like, oh, shit, that really did happen.
Right.
Where you end up into
it's almost like a form of denial to not really want to believe in it.
Well, and because then you go, well, it could have been this, or there's always that sense of
right
that it was.
There's something that could explain it.
That
but there's always weird things that can explain it, and they did also it a lot more without me.
And the one time that they did it, there was a time that they did it without him.
Yeah, and see, this is something that I can't confirm though. But they said there was a time they went back without me, and they said, "Where's John?" on the audio when they got back, and So it like knew my name, supposedly, of course. But then there was one time
But also, okay, guys, that would be the one part he fucking remembers. Because it was about you. It was about yourself. So the ghosts have to be there for me.
Well, yeah.
I was reading from contemporary Bible.
Well, yeah, I mean, the parts that I was involved with would be the parts that I would remember.
Fucking crazy.
You know, and you know what's fucked up is I was just about to tell you about a time where I wasn't there and a guy was wearing a shirt that wasn't me that had a Bible verse on it, and then they caught on the audio, there's something different on your shirt. But no, just take shots at John. So creepy though, right? I mean, that's
crazy.
Weird.
Number one, we're never having those people on the show. Number two, we're going to that house and we're burning it down.
Okay.
Oh,
no, but also 2 couples lived there that died in weird ways.
No! Yeah. That's what always happens.
But it's not even like they died in the house, though. It wasn't even in the house. It doesn't matter. Just weird ways outside the house.
They can still be tied to that house.
What's happening over there? Whoa.
Ooh.
There was a ghost quake!
Oh my god. Do you hear that? And then it cuts it. And he's going to edit it where it cuts just right there. That is
But yeah, weird stuff, man. So that was the subject I could run with, yeah.
Bonkers.
So I struggle. So it's not that I don't believe in it; it's that I don't want to give it merit, so that if it is true and real, it doesn't come back into my life.
It's
kind
like,
of thing,
yeah.
You know?
Well, you don't want to open that door. Speaking of open doors, like go ahead, because I was going to say like the Ouija board. Like if you do that,
that's exactly where I was going to go.
Guess what? Do you want demons? Because that's how you get demons.
My brother has Ouija boards all over his house.
What?
He's very like anti everything, like
a Satanist.
We were not.
So he's
grown up like in the church and everything, and he's gay. So he's like, well, and everyone has told him like, you can't be gay, like God hates gays. So he's like, well, God hates me, so you then. Like, so he turned away, and he's got like Ouija boards everywhere. Like he just loves Halloween, loves all that. But that's like,
who else does? Demons.
That's his mat.
I'm not saying anything.
His welcome mat is a Ouija board.
Done. Not even touching it.
Yeah, right.
No, because here's the deal. If you want to be possessed, every movie, every book has started that way. The original Exorcist was based on a case where the kid was playing with a Ouija board.
Yep.
It was a boy and played with it, and then it was like a 3-day exorcism, and that is how you should never be like.
Well, it's crazy to me.
Would you ever just open your door and be like, hey, anyone that comes in with an interesting story, just go ahead and tell me.
Right.
Just come in. You can stay as long as you want. Or I have no way to get you out. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah. Yeah, right. Because, and if you've already basically welcomed them in, essentially you don't have the opposite power of the opposite force that's like, strong enough to get them out. You know what I mean?
Go now. Because the not like the way it was ever explained to me, but there's that if you allow something to happen, then you're obviously opening the door, allowing it to happen.
Exactly.
Because you maybe want it to happen. But I can't be like, ghosts attack John, because it would be bad karma on me, and like there would be so many factors that would have to happen to make so much negative energy in my mind to make something happen bad to you. Instead of being like, hey, demons, do something bad to me. Don't do that, demons. I'm not saying that.
This is a hypothetical.
This is a hypothetical, demons. Stay on your own side of the room. Because I do, like,
I'll pray
okay,
for you.
so, like, people are like, well, I'm not religious or everything like that. The one thing I think you have to admit to yourself is that if you go to Auschwitz, Dachau, all these different concentration camps where nothing but bad shit happened, there's a negative energy there. If there's a house where someone died, obviously they died, but sometimes you just get a creepy feeling, even from people that are still alive. You're like, ugh, and it turns out, they were a bad person, or they did bad things, or you didn't know this about them. Like,
energy is a thing.
It's that big energy thing. So, dude,
well, my thing too is like you can just go to Target and buy a Ouija board in the game section. That's weird to me.
It's made by Kenner.
Yeah, it shouldn't be that readily available for anyone.
But maybe that's how the demons had it planned. That they go, hey, we'll just make it a game. It's harmless. See? Next thing you know,
that's what Predator would do.
18 demons. But you know who'd stop them? Jesus.
Exactly.
Jesus would stop
because
them.
He could stop Predator. I had to.
Can I tell mine?
Please.
It doesn't directly involve me, but I've heard it the same way ever since I was probably 10 to 12.
Of course, he'd go out of his way to say a story that's not about him.
Of course, because I'm humble like that. I'm fucking so humble. My parents, uber Catholic, but not like crazy old school Catholic. But they grew up in like.
No, but is it bad that as soon as you said Uber, I'm like, what does their side job have to do with this? Like,
okay, there you go. Oh, dad joke. Oh, dad joke number 1 tonight.
Is that only number 1?
So yeah, it is for right now. I'm sure there will be more, but they weren't like speaking in Latin like old school. They were, when they were in their like 20s, it was like the 70s. Like late 60s, early 70s. So kind of that free love, just like my mom's like 70 now, so you just break it down from whatever that time is. So my dad had a weekly prayer group where he would go. Now this is before cell phones. This is before computers. This is literally like rotary phone, like
the age of hearsay.
Well, I'm only setting that up so that you can. So that this makes a point later to it. So they would go to this house, and apparently 2 new people showed up because one of the women there was a man and a woman, and she was having a really hard time. So, hey, get together, pray. It's what my dad did. And it was something he really liked to do. I can't remember, maybe it was a Wednesday night. Like, it's not pertinent to the story when it was, but it was during the week, and it was a scheduled thing, and it was structured. Because it was just a routine thing that he would do. He'd go, boom, they'd pray, he'd go home, and then hang out with my mom. And I think because she had a baby, my older brother. She had my older brother as a baby.
Oh, wow.
So he was a baby.
So she's there. A while before you were born.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my mom's waiting, and 9 o'clock rolls around, 10 o'clock rolls around, 11 o'clock rolls around, midnight rolls around. Well, now she's calling everyone on like a phone book, on like this paper registry. And they don't know because their people aren't home either. Wow. So they're like, what's going on? What's the deal? So like maybe 1:30 rolls around. I'm guessing it was, it was told to me the same time. So it's not like the times changed. I just really can't remember.
Right, yeah.
But let's say uber late in the morning.
What is it with you in this cab company?
There you go. Number 2.
Say Uber again, you're gonna get.
We need an air horn for every dad joke. So my dad gets home and he's like visibly shooken, all this, and my mom's like, "Where were you? We have a newborn baby. You can't. What happened? Were you out drinking? I thought you were in an accident. I was calling everywhere, calling hospitals, all this stuff." And he goes, "I'll tell you about it in a little bit." So my dad apparently like calms kind of down, and she's like, "What happened?" Well, they were praying, and all of a sudden, the woman became possessed.
Was she already possessed and it came out? Or?
No, when they were praying, it triggered whatever was inside her. And so it's whatever was inside of her started speaking Latin. This woman didn't know Latin. Was telling them things about themselves that they only knew, like sins they had done. And hey, here's the deal. I could give 2 fucks if you believe me or not. I don't care.
Right.
I'm telling you the story as I was growing up.
Well, that's like
they had to restrain her, and they had to basically do an on-site exorcism with really no expert in it because this person could become violent and move around, like not like the movies, but just be a danger to themselves and trying to figure it out. And the only thing my dad would say, because my mom was like, he was still the same person, but always praying from that point on was always a thing. It visibly shook him. She said it was really hard for him. So after that point, but she was like, well, what was it? Was it a demon? Was it? He goes, it was the big one. It was the devil. Come to find out, this woman had been messing in demonology, Ouija boards, witchcraft, like all the things that bring demons.
Right, yeah.
That open yourself up. So
That's giving me kind of chills.
Dude, isn't it? It's weird. It's super weird. It is
so weird,
And
dude.
My mom is not an exaggerator. My mom is
like
not...
that's the back of my neck. Like.
Yeah, I'm shaking too. I'm like, it's crazy to me.
Well, it's terrifying. So here's kind of the flip of the coin, too. It is fucking terrifying, and I don't know how it would feel to be in that presence of that. Like, it's something that you could never feel comfortable with ever again. Like, you would never want it again once you've done it. But on the same token, like, your faith is so... like reinforced after that.
Well,
you know what I mean?
you don't
like,
have. Well, it's kind of like, sometimes when you're in a restaurant, like let's say an Applebee's, and someone comes by and they have the cake and it's a happy birthday. You didn't know it was coming. You didn't everything know. It's just like that, but it's a demon. So you're praying all of a sudden and boom. So crazy part, and my mom didn't tell this part of it right away. I kind of pry it out of her, but she goes. So we were at church one day, and she goes, I met this nice couple. She goes, the man was really nice. And I said, I wouldn't even shake the woman's hand. And my mom's a nice, polite woman. And she goes, I visibly shook. She was like, there was something about this woman I didn't know. I felt like I was rude, not saying hi to, not engaging her in anything, but I knew something was wrong with her. That's crazy. Turns out, so then she walks away, and my dad goes, that was the woman that was at the prayer. And she goes, no way! Automatically just kind of knew the way.
At the church, though?
Yeah.
They were at the church?
Yeah,
so,
yeah,
I mean, that's a good sign, though, right?
I guess. But also, too, think about it. All those years of demonology and all that, whatever. All those things of doing things that are the opposite of angels, I guess, or whatever.
Right, yeah.
It can't be good. And you know what I mean? And then also, too, once you've opened that door, all you have to do is keep making that deal.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's easy to make that deal. And whatever. Like I said, crazy story. I don't have a whole lot of ghost stories. Because no matter what, like
they won't equal my devil story.
Dude,
that's crazy.
Because
that's just
you know what I mean. Because like I said, my dad was always home at like 7:00. It did the same thing, all the week.
So they didn't like cure her or fix her, or like how does that work?
They did it, and as far as she could I don't know, turn back into normal, but they were able to do it. But it took 4 or 5 hours for them to deal with this situation.
Shouldn't he want to teach you guys that? You guys should be like the Supernatural brothers. Like he should pass that down. Like you should be able to do that. Like,
dude, no, fucking thank you. Because think about it. If you're dealing in the mud, that's got to get on you. You know what I mean? I'm always stay away from the negative because that negative could definitely turn back on you along those lines. And obviously, like the different churches and stuff have different things that.
See, that's what kind of makes it difficult too. Though is like if
we're over time. I know
fine.
we're over, but it's ghosts. T, do you have a ghost story? No, you don't at all. Nothing creepy.
I'm terrified.
And I really do think that a lot of the time, like spirits that even if they're good, will keep away from you because they know that it bothers you. Because guess what? It's scary. This dude has fucking people running around. Shrek's talking. One of the scariest movies ever was Chucky to me. Then I read the real story of Chucky. There's a doll. There is a doll in Maryland. It owns a house because the woman, no, it was a man, left the house with enough money that he had to the doll. You can take a picture with the doll. Exactly. It's a little sailor doll. Like it looks like a little stitched together doll.
That's weird.
Robert, that's his name. Robert the doll, I think is. But there are notes that are posted on the wall, and whether they're true or not, I don't care. Let's go with it, okay? That there are notes that say if you don't ask permission to take a picture with him, bad things start happening to you. So there's a wall of letters.
Why would anyone go there and do that?
Because they're dummies.
Why would you even try?
Who you calling a dummy?
That Goosebumps, I watched in 3rd grade.
Oh God, I couldn't. The ones, the scary tales to tell in the dark. Those covers scared me, and the Goosebumps covers always scared me. And then it turned out that the story was always something benign of it, but it was still kind of, like ventriloquist dummies, anything that's in the shape of a human, that is controlled. Oh my God, no.
I actually heard a story from someone a couple weekends ago. It was whenever Centerpoint first opened. Someone came in and she was a
ghost.
No.
Clairvoyant.
What? No.
Paraplegic.
No.
Clairvoyant.
They talked to
a psychic. Clairvoyant.
No, what do they call it though now?
A medium.
Medium. She was a medium.
Same as a clairvoyant. Whatever.
Okay, but she was a medium and she didn't want anybody to know, but someone was walking by and she's like, she's calling for the nurse to come in. She's like, I just want to let you know that there's someone following you and playing with your ponytail.
Oh
like,
yeah, I don't want anyone to know, but...
Like, I don't tell people, but I'm a medium and whatever, talking about that person. And then I guess the nurse was like, was there a lot? Like, this is kind of a newly opened hospital. She's like, oh yeah, there's tons of people around here. Tons of spirits, like...
Wow.
And it just opened, like...
Well, yeah, like one of my friend... Okay, here's a creepy one.
It's a hospital.
And then
now we're saying goodbye to organs as they're leaving. Like, there's so many, like...
We're saying goodbye to organs?
Yeah, like they do the
actually
organ
saying
walks,
goodbye?
Like when they transfer organs, like for organ donations, like we'll say
organ
goodbye.
walks?
Yeah, like we'll say goodbye.
What the fuck?
We'll say goodbye to patients as they're going in to do all that. And the family will say goodbye and stuff like that.
Is the person dead?
Well, yeah, it's like something will yes.
Okay, because I don't want to still be alive and everyone's like, bye, see ya. As they're like, and they're going to harvest all your organs and then you die.
No, it's like all the organ donors.
That's how I imagine it too, with them saying, all right, hey, see you later.
The hospitals just started doing is they let the family say goodbye before they do that, and they let the nurses that worked with the patient say goodbye. So it's just a thing for everybody, like closure for everybody.
Okay, that
and
makes
then
a little more sense.
They take...
Still creepy.
They have to take it out. Yeah, but there's all those feelings like left in the hospital.
Energy, bro.
Yes.
Energy there. And think about it. Yeah, like a morgue. I can only imagine the energy in a morgue.
There's a place for TB, a hospital for TB. They left
tuberculosis.
Yeah, before they.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
Before they
what
had
are you
a cure,
doing?
Before they had a cure, they would put them all in this one hospital. I forgot where it was, but someone bought this hospital. And they like tried to do like crazy things, like
haunted houses.
Take out like part of a lung to see if that would help, or like take out some ribs to see if that would help. But somebody bought that hospital and wanted to turn it into a hotel. Like what?
That's weird. My mom used to she used to work nights at like this old people's home or whatever, and she did like their laundry, so she did linen for like the whole place or whatever. And there was this old person that like lived upstairs in one of the rooms, because it was basically like you're just waiting there to die. It wasn't like a nursing home. It was like worse off than
Sorry
that,
to interrupt you, but you were hitting all fucking creepy cues. Kid, playing around, ghost, talking doll.
Don't make it too creepy though.
Up in there. But you know what I'm saying?
But
like you're hitting all these things like...
was like denying God. Like I would never go in the room because it was always dark, like pitch black dark.
Yeah.
I always felt like there was like a lamp on or a dim light. Maybe it was a candle. Maybe I imagined it as a candle because it was that kind of creepy lit.
Yeah.
But my mom said she would have to go in there to get like the linens and take it down, and because she had to go everywhere, you know, to get it.
You do it.
She had to wash the shitty sheets and the piss and all of it, like But there was like a Bible in there, and you would just scribble things in it and like have all sorts of like weird stuff, and like it was really a creepy person, and I was just like terrified of that room. I would never go toward it. But the basement was where she would do all the laundry, and it was overnights. And it was so creepy, but nothing ever happened. But it was the worst, most draining, most terrifying energy. Like 8 to 12 hours straight of just like, I'm scared to be here.
Oh God, like, this is so stressful. I totally.
She could become a ninja at night. You don't know.
Who?
That old lady.
My mom ain't no ninja.
No, the old lady.
It was an old man. Was it an old man?
All of a sudden,
man, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was a man or a woman. To be honest with you.
With that person either.
Also, too. Let's give it up to nursing homes and retirement home cleaning crew. You gotta deal with old people, man. That's scary. And also, too, old people, you're the closest to death. That veil right there, you're seeing some shit. And you're also, at the end, you gotta deal with whatever you gotta deal with. Man. Whatever you did in your life.
Yeah.
When you talk about, like, energy
before we die, we gotta deal with this show.
I hope that I come back as a ghost and I can watch this show.
I hope
over
I
and
just
over again.
go to heaven and I'm happy.
with Jesus, and we'll talk about how you could beat the Predator up all the time.
Bro, I'm gonna have the Predator pop up and I'll fuck him up every time just to like.
You can't even do. You were scared of
John
a fucking
wasn't-
Shrek doll.
If John wasn't in purgatory, he'd watch me beat up the Predator right now.
Oh man, if he just wasn't waiting there. Hey John, how's it? You having fun up there with Jesus?
Fuck yeah.
I mean, I didn't really mean. I mean, the Predator's tough. You gotta admit that. And then like, they're like, it puts more time on my clock.
You're
I'm
like,
God, come on, that's not fair.
What is it? Have you seen the movie This Is the End? So
Yes.
it's like Hollywood with
Yes.
the Rapture, where
Yeah.
it's like it's James Franco, right? Where he like saves the dude and he starts to go to heaven.
Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, fuck you guys, fuck you, and then he drops him.
right
and he gets
down.
eaten.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah,
I
that
love
was awesome. And then yeah,
Okay, also,
don't watch that movie.
tell us your spooky stories. Okay, one last thing. I have a friend, and I'll see if I can post the audio that she sent me. But she always said that her house was haunted. And check this out, okay? She sent me the audio. She's like, I want you to see what this is. Now, granted, anything can happen on a recorder. You'd be skeptical, whatever. But
Right.
if you want to go with it, go with it. Because she does the whole, are you a man? Are you a woman?
Whoa, those questions are inappropriate.
Well, are you non-binary? Are you whatever? Are you trans species? No, but she said, "Are you a man?" Nothing. Are you a woman? Nothing. And she said, "Are you a child?" Wait, and then you hear.
Don't make that noise ever again, bro. You just made my knees weak.
Dude,
I don't know why that was so scary. Like,
because that's what happens on a recorder. I'll see if she'll let me send the audio.
No, I don't need to hear it.
And she just sent me another video.
We don't need to
She
hear that.
just, yes, I had to hear it. Everyone has to.
No.
She just sent me a video of her little dog barking and 2 orbs fly by.
I'm so scared of this episode.
This is the
I'm
spooky.
so scared.
The next subject will be a whole lot lighter. But if you have a cool, creepy story where no one dies,
Hey.
well, no one dies after whatever the event is. People can die before the event is set up. You know, like if
This
someone dies
episode
and
is
then
cursed.
I think that's part of the reason why I am scared of this stuff, though, because
That's the title of this, bro. This episode is
I was
cursed.
never-
Oh! I pounded it.
I was never allowed
Yeah,
to
look at
like
dick.
I pounded it on
watch
video.
that
Why
stuff,
did
so I think
you
that's why it
did?
scares me even more.
got me?
Sorry?
I was never allowed to watch that stuff, so I think that's why it scares me even more. Because I don't.
Oh.
I don't want to like talk about it anymore.
Okay, we're done.
Yeah.
Oh, hey guys, do you hear that? And then we'll edit that out.